And now to Uvalde, Texas, and the fiery public response to a report highlighting failures in the police response to that school shooting that killed 19 young children and 2 of their teachers. People filled the room at last night's school district meeting, demanding that officials explain those mistakes and take responsibility. Lilia Luciano is in Uvalde, where she attended that meeting. Lilia, good morning. I saw one parent say every time we hear something, it re-triggers us. It like opens the pain up all over again. And what they heard yesterday was horrendous. Good morning to you.
That's right, Gayle, and good morning. For many of those parents I talked to and I heard from, it was the first school board meeting that they attended. They say they had to do it. This community is in shock that School Police Chief Pete Arredondo is still on administrative leave. They want him fired, and they also called for the superintendent to step down. This community is ready for change, and they are angry.
You saw the videos. It's out there, and now we all know the truth.
That truth, spelled out in excruciating detail in a damning report by state lawmakers, brought an outraged community to Monday's Uvalde School District meeting.
What are you going to do to make sure I don't have to wait 77 minutes bleeding out on my classroom floor just like my little sister did?
Raw grief, fear, and skepticism, including among Uvalde's youngest, like Maylee Taylor.
I don't want to go to your guys' school if they don't have protection.
The superintendent outlined changes the district is making to protect students, from tightening school access points and adding more security cameras to hiring additional police officers. But many said the precautions are too little too late.
You hired trash. That's not right. I lost a loved one right here.
The state's investigation found that school administrators did not adequately prepare for the risk of an armed intruder, pointing to faulty locks and relaxed security policies that gave the attacker unimpeded access to enter the classrooms.
You're the superintendent. You're top dog, correct?
Yes.
So you should know what's going on in your schools?
Correct.
Why don't you?
The report also concluded that the gunman likely murdered most of his victims before any responders set foot in the building, and that others may have survived if police hadn't assembled in a hallway waiting to act for an additional 73 minutes.
I feel like most of these meetings are pointless.
This was the first school board meeting for Jose Flores Sr. and Cynthia Herrera since their 10-year-old Jose Flores was killed. 2 days after the shooting, we spoke with his stepsister, 9-year-old survivor Andrea Herrera. The parents say Andrea's not returning to school until they see significant change.
I'm scared that it just might happen again.
And is it hard having to see all these officers around?
Well, I don't even focus on that. Everybody who was recorded in that video and ran the other way, they all need to be fired. There's no point of having them there.
Superintendent Hal Harrell stood by the move to put Arredondo on leave. He said the board will use the findings from the committee investigating the shooting from those legislators to make a final decision. They did not say when that decision will come. Tony.
All right, Lilia, thank you very much.
Yeah, part of the frustration, I think, for these families is it's been so difficult to get a straight answer. When you think about what happened in the beginning, that big news conference with the governor and all the officials praising the work that the law enforcement officers had done, and then to see on tape that none of that was true.
I know.
It's just heartbreaking and very frustrating.
Especially for the families who are still demanding accountability.
Yes.
And so far, nothing has happened.
Yeah.
And this information wouldn't have come out without the reporting
Exactly
of folks
right.
like Lilia and other reporters on the ground.
Exactly right.